There's no other place I'd rather be. Me Vincy girl by my side. I tell them all the while, we don't have no gold nor oil, but we have wonderful people rich with beautiful smiles. From the hills to the mountains, every man, every woman, every child. If you're proud to be Vincy, put your hands up high and let me hear you say.
Back at the Honors Way playing field, we are with you on a sumptuous Sunday special here as the Vincy Premier League T10 cricket goes into match day 3. This is the first of 3 games, and we have the Dark View Explorers. They are required to score at over 10 runs and over to win their second game of this tournament. They have been set a target of 105. The Botanical Gardens 104 for 4 in their innings. Now Lyndon James, he is out there, as well as Darren Graves. They are the openers for Dark View Explorers. Sam and Lanson, I think we are in for a treat on a
Lyndon James to continue with their partnership. They have a partnership of 54 in the game yesterday, and today I am sure they would want to even lift that tempo a little more because they are up against it again. They have been set 104 for victory, and if they are going to get this, these two batters must put things in place and ensure that they stay at the crease for a long time. But Keswick would have another idea as he runs into ball.
He's whipping that off the pads of the hip area down to fine leg, gets a single, and they're off the mark straight away.
And they would definitely need a very big opening partnership here, and a solid one. Yesterday, in chasing 109, as mentioned, they got to 54. Unfortunately, it still wasn't enough, and we would require, I think, from the perspective of the Dark View Explorers, the other batsmen, as mentioned by Miles previously, to put their pads on and get some contributions going towards the team, and do not be too over-reliant on these two in particular.
James beaten outside the outside with a beauty. Similar start to what Darius Martin had when he was bowling for the Dark View Explorers. Keswick Williams would relish bowling pretty good length on this surface.
Yes, and because of the nature of this pitch, I think that he will be looking to bowl more of his stop delivery instead of the slow ones, especially in the early balls.
In a single, James getting behind that one circumspectly and gets off the mark. He moves to 67 runs in the tournament, the second highest aggregate in terms of runs, and he would definitely look to push deep into this innings, hoping to get his team over the line.
Lyndon James, realizing that Hiram Shallow is right in front of him, injured, he decided to take him on, and he was successful in the run.
Okay, that one rushed on a bit to Graves. He was looking to play it onto the onside, took the leading edge, and he got a single. Nevertheless, 3 without loss. We're still in over number 1 as they look to get 105 for victory.
And Keswick will be looking to keep keep the ball on a length just outside off stump, and maybe occasionally he would look for that Yorker in the early part of this innings.
Short and whipped. Is it going all the way? Yes! This is what we call a sunset smasher. Lyndon James into his wicket and swung that away to the wideish fine leg boundary for 6.
Yes, and we were saying that Keswick that he would want to keep the ball back of a length, but I think that one he went just a little too straight, and there was Lyndon playing a Gordon Greenidge-esque hit over backward square.
बंद करें मतलब
Salt to his injury. He would have been looking for a better combat ball that would cramp Lyndon James up and prevent him from getting any run. He did prevent Lyndon, but one went to the total nevertheless. 10 without loss in the first over. And that was a successful delivery. He pushed that one to the injured Shallow, who took a easy, simple catch in short cover. Lyndon is disappointed, and he goes back for 66 as he remains second to the run table. Who took it? Hiron Shallow.
Well, you would say that Shallow didn't want to get more runs than he has.
He would have never dropped that ball.
If you look at that delivery, you notice that the delivery, it seemed away a little bit and squared him up. And he got the outside edge and it went to short extra cover. And as mentioned earlier, because of the nature of this pitch, Williams will be looking to keep more of his, to go more of his stop deliveries, as he will get seam movement on this pitch with the grass that it provides. And the new batsman is Kenzie Joseph.
And had he stayed there, we would have been looking at a different game. However, like Alads alluded, other batsmen have to come to the fore now.
Yes, and would you guys agree with my opinion that Lyndon looked a little too cautious in his opening innings, well, deliveries faced in this inning so far?
Well, I think,
before being dismissed.
I think he might have been cognizant of the fact that a lot depends on him in this chase, and he wanted to make sure that he was there for the 10 overs. But having said that, he still needed to get the team off to a quick start.
Well, it's Demba to Graves, and he cuts that one and goes off the edge down to the third man boundary for 4. And Graves is now going to have to take the attack. In our interview with him before the start of the game, he indicated that he has not scored a lot of runs in the tournament, but he is known to be a prolific run getter in local cricket.
Yes, absolutely, and I think he would relish this opportunity now to take the mantle with the dismissal of James. Let's see how he goes.
This one is trying to swing away onto the onside. Doesn't make contact, comes off the pad, and Demba goes up with an appeal.
One might have been a bit too high.
Another good delivery by Demba, coming in and doing some really good fielding from a short mid-wicket position. Is Joey Welcome, or Joey Liverpool, as he's carrying in this tournament. 2 diamond deliveries there, Sam.
Diamond deliveries.
Graves again getting a good delivery. Remember, Demba is a really experienced and player of quality. Winlands Volcanoes from St. Vincent again, so it definitely has some caliber.
And you could see that he has a plan here to Graves. He's not giving him any width at all. Trying to bowl as straight as possible. This one he goes over the top and he will successfully complete a single, as this one was a little bit fuller, so he had the length to get on it, and he would have been hoping for better contact on that occasion.
So Kensley Joseph comes into strike. This is his first delivery, and he will also need to come to the party if the Darkview Explorers are going to get close to 105 that they're required. So some adjustment to the field. We see Shallow coming over to the offside. Strengthening the offside here is Kesrick Williams. Shallow hobbling, but definitely still working and trying to get into that extra cover position. Demba. This one goes down the left side, then they come off the pad. Yes, so there's no signal by the umpire. And so Darkview Explorers in pursuit of 105 for victory. They still need 90. They are 15 for 1. They're scoring at 7.50 runs per over. The required rate, as you will know in these versions, go up very quickly. It's now 11.25.
It should still be a manageable required weight, Roxel, but the question now is, does the rest of the batting lineup, other than James and Graves, have the power to achieve such a rate?
So all left to be seen. We have a bowling change at the top. Captain Kesrick Williams gives way to Kamali Williams. And after the first over, well, at this point, very similar stats. At this point, the Botanical Garden Rangers, they were 13 without loss. Darkview Explorers, they've lost 1 wicket and they have scored 15 runs.
Again, you could see the batsman targeting. Yes, absolutely, and I think he.
Strike on 2.
And that's the length that Kimali Williams would want to keep to young Joseph, because he doesn't favor the back of an end delivery, and he was also dismissed with a similar delivery in his first match. So I think that they would want to keep it away from being too full to Joseph, because he loves to drive.
And there he goes again, very, very similar to what you said. On the front foot, look at the drive on the up, and if you're back of a length and short of that good length in that area, it's going to be a challenge for him to score.
Yes, he doesn't seem to be, he is not as prolific on the horizontal bat shots. As you see, he's rehearsing a cut shot there now. I know he would realize that that length was a bit too short for the drive.
Again, rotation of the strike is going to be very important here. That ball brought Maria Abbott, umpire, into play. She opens her hand and she flies. It's a wide. We know that Darren Grace can hit the ball hard. So like Shallow and Rommel Currency would have done, allow...
Just mentioned age out of the leaf and of the partnership between Shallow and Currency. And again, Shallow and Currency showed their experience and their nose. And I think that with the ability of Graves to hit the ball, he hasn't made that much runs in the tournament as yet and may not be fully confident. But I think that Joseph still needs to try as much as possible to give him as much as a strike as he can. And what he should do is that when he gets the ball in his area, the full ball that he likes, then he will drive at that. And then other than that, he should get behind the line and try to retrieve the strike.
All right, and we're pleased to have the president of the St. Vincent Grenadines Cricket Association, Inc., president of the Windward Islands Cricket Board. He also has and holds the esteemed position of vice president of Cricket West Indies. Dr. Kishore Shallow, we want to welcome him to our microphones at this time.
Good morning all. Good morning viewers across the globe. I'm pleased to be in the commentary with such a distinguished panel.
Demba is beating Graves outside the off slip again. The bowlers seem to be getting on top here. Dr. Shallow, in our interview with he was elated that the tournament was conceived, and 3 days in, how is the executive of the Cricket Association, St. Vincent, feeling about proceedings thus far?
So far, I think we are progressing well. You know, we obviously, you know, this is a massive learning curve for us.
Graves whips that to the man coming around from backward of square, gets a single, and they definitely have to get a move on it. Go ahead, Dr. Shallow.
Yes, a massive learning curve, and I think we have improved each day so far. You know, I expect by the 10th day, the final next week Sunday. Well, is it next week? Next week Sunday? Yes, that will be well set, and the stage will be you know, at the right point for excellent cricket. You know, excellent atmosphere.
Demba goes down the leg side. He's grimacing there as the umpire calls a wide, umpire Butler. Let's go back to the beginning, Dr. Shallow. Whose brainchild was this? And from that initial idea, how was the concept developed?
Well, it was, an idea from a couple persons on the executive. As a group, you know, collectively, we sat down, we discussed the different features we want to be incorporated, what we want to be viewed across the globe, you know, so things like
this one is taking the leading edge, and it goes past the keeper down to the third man down for 4 valuable runs here for the Dark View Explorers, who are a little behind the 8 ball, 25-01, and the power play is coming to an end. Dr. Shallow, continue.
Yeah, so, you know, it's about we sat down, you know, we came up with the idea of, you know, packaging this cricket for the world, you know, meaning, you know, naming the teams after like the different site attractions across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, ensuring that, you know, persons across the world could see SVG cricket.
Another single to the total.
Yes, to see Vincentian cricketers and so on. So that was really the purpose behind this tournament, to ensure that we package our cricket and package our country and put that across to the globe. And I mean, collectively in the executive, we obviously consulted with different persons because the COVID season is in, so we had to ensure we get the experts, the health officials, you know, the different government approval and so on. The Prime Minister led and shared his advice And so, you know, it has been a total, you know, collective effort. And, you know, yes, a collective effort, you know, by all stakeholders, and I think, you know, what we are seeing today is a result of that.
Okay, so at this point, at the end of the power play, the Botanical Garden Rangers, they were 41 for 1. In reply, Dark View Explorers, needing 105 to win, they are 27 for 1. Dr. Shallow, in a financially difficult period globally, how did the Cricket Association go about seeking the necessary assistance to make all this possible? And who are the major stakeholders?
Well, because obviously, I mean, we wanted to bring a professional feel to the tournament, and which means, you know, affording the players a daily match fee, improving the production, you know, much higher standard than what we're accustomed to for local matches, and so all this, you know.
Kevin Abram comes into the attack for the Botanical Garden Rangers. His first delivery was short and pulled back corner of square for 2.
Yes, so all these features obviously, you know, inflated the budget, and we knew right away that we had to seek some commercial partners, and so we reached out to companies in India and across the world, England as well.
This one, Graves goes high and hard over the mic with boundary for what we call up here, Dr. Shallow, a sunset smasher. That's 6 more runs, and it is needed for the Darkview team. Go ahead, and I guess probably next year we'll be getting some monies for these.
Well, what I'm saying, as I just spoke about commercial partners, I'm wondering if Sunset is getting any more, is making any contribution for this other promotion. But yeah, so we reached out to persons, and we were successful in you know, attracting some partners globally. We see Populous Global Solutions as well, an established health company. Again, it's about being very strategic, that we were quite aware that this COVID-19 pandemic is quite topical.
Hit with a cover 0 in front of point and gets a single. It's now 36. I make it 36 for 1. We are into over number 5.
Yeah, so we were aware that, you know, the COVID-19 pandemic, you know, it's topical and critical at this point, and so we wanted to get different partners, and Populous being such an experienced company in health, in offering electronic solutions. We engaged them to get their app, their IT solution.
Going high, skying that one, down to long off, coming around and taking a very, very, very good catch is Kenneth Dembar. Those could be challenging for cricketers around the world in this version, as you know how important catches are. Joseph goes, Abraham takes a wicket. It's 36 for 2. Dr. Shallow, continue.
Yes, so we had Populous offering the tool, the self-assessment tool that all players is still safe and COVID-19 free. And there are other strategic partners, of course. Digicel is on board, local telecommunication company, and we are quite happy to have them on board. We have Sportista channel, Scene TV is carrying the coverage in North America live as well. Also locally we have VC3 TV.
This one whipped really powerfully to the cow corner area by Graves. Graves is sounding and looking as if he's getting a nick. One more, 5 overs gone, 37, and they now require 68 to win from the next 5 overs. Dr. Shallow.
Yeah, so, you know, and we are grateful for the local stakeholders as well. You know, the umpires, they have obviously come on board. You know, we have the National Sports Council. From the time we stayed in some cricket and we wanted to be of a certain standard, and instantly they responded. You know, I don't think prior to that engagement they anticipated any cricket anytime soon. But
Dream11, Dr. Shallow, Dream11, tell us all about that.
Dream11, company out of India, what is a fantasy game company. They have a platform of 80 million users. There's an app, Fun Code, where their subscribers are able to look at the cricket live. You don't have to pay once you're a subscriber to the channel. You could actually view the matches live and Dreamweaver. So we are quite happy to have them on board and taking our cricket all the way to India and the neighboring countries there. Also, we are quite pleased with Sports Max, who really approach us and express interest once they saw it. ESPN has been providing some very interesting articles as well, and kind of boost the image of the SVG cricket. And we are most grateful for that too. So we're just happy to have stakeholders on board from all across the globe.
Ray Charles from the Becco end. Wide outside the awesome and cutting it away there is Shaman Hooper. He loves it in those areas, and you can see he was technically beautiful in realizing that shot. That, Dr. Shallow, all these items that you have outlined, especially that of Populous Global Solutions, is this a template that competitions around the world going to have to use going forward in this COVID-19 period and thereafter?
What I've said to my executive, my colleagues locally,